It's now time to turn our attention to the drug topic. So starting with the definition of a drug is a chemical which has an effect on the body. So don't get confused, drugs aren't necessarily always bad things. I know the press will tell us that they are, but a drug is any chemical that has an effect on our body, such as paracetamol, which is a very valuable painkiller. It helps to reduce the temperature caused by a fever, but you must be careful not to take too much because an overdose may lead to liver damage and even death. What are the short-term effects of alcohol, which remember is a legal drug? Well, alcohol is actually a depressant. It slows the nervous system and reduces your reaction time. It can cause slurred speech, blurred vision, an inability to maintain your balance. So you'll notice that people who are drunk often stumble. And if you take too much in a short space of time, it may lead to a coma and even death. The long-term effects of alcohol now, it may cause huge damage to your liver, which is known as cirrhosis. It could cause gene mutation, which leads to cancer. It may cause brain damage, and it will affect your inability to detoxify substances due to that damage to the liver. If you do a deep dive into the effects of alcohol on the liver and the functioning of the liver, remember that the liver is an important organ for both detoxifying substances, but also in our digestion. Because the liver produces bile, any damage caused to the liver will affect its ability to produce bile. That means that fats can no longer be emulsified, which affects the working of the enzyme lipase. It also means that the pH can't be increased within the small intestine, and that's important to make sure that the enzymes released into the small intestine aren't denatured. So damage to the liver has very far-reaching effects. What about cannabis now? Cannabis is an illegal drug. It's a psychoactive drug. It causes feelings of relaxation, but with prolonged and long-term use, you can end up with hallucinations and feelings of disorientation. Cannabis is often smoked with tobacco, which may lead to damage to the lungs. Moving on to very nasty hardcore drugs such as heroin, a class A drug. This is obviously an illegal drug. It is a painkiller. It's a narcotic, which means it gives feelings of intense pleasure. It's a depressant like alcohol, which means it slows the nervous system. The problem with taking heroin is that you build up a tolerance to it, which means that you need to take more and more heroin in order to experience the same feelings of pleasure. It's highly addictive, and there are some very nasty side effects associated with withdrawal from this drug, including diarrhea and vomiting. People often inject heroin, and the problem is people often use dirty or infected needles, so that causes the spread of HIV and hepatitis. Cocaine, another illegal drug, another psychoactive drug, causes intense feelings of pleasure. It also causes mental alertness, paranoia, and irritability. It increases your breathing and heart rate, so it's very, very bad for your heart, and it can raise your body temperature. It's highly addictive.